In this video, I'll be going through how I built this woodshed. So if you want to learn how to build a shed like this, then hit the subscribe button and let's head up to the build site.
All right, everybody. So, been doing a lot of chainsaw videos, cutting a lot of wood. I need a place to store it. So today I'm going to go through the building of this woodshed. It's just 4 feet by 10 feet. Here's what I did. I wasn't going to film this, but I ended up deciding to. So these are treated 2x6s by 10 foot. And then I cut 4-foot sections here. And I did 4 feet because at the end I just wanted it a little wider. So it's actually 4 feet 3 inches wide. I have these really long 6-inch long leg bolts in the center. And then I have nails, 2 nails in each. And then I have decking screws. So it should be strong. But anyways, this is all put up. I'll put all the pieces in. I'll film all that. I guess what would you call them? The joists. I'll put all the other joists all the way down. I think I'm going to space them a foot. Normally you'd go a little further, but just because it's going to have a lot of weight, I'll space them a foot, and I have the extra material to do it. But anyways, this will be it. This will be the build. I'll film as much as I can, and we'll get started. All right, here's kind of what I'm using for tools, screws, all that stuff. Got these 6-inch. We got some of these just for a little extra strength here. And we also have 3-inch treated screws, 3-inch treated deck screws. So these are some of the things I'll be using on this woodshed build. And then of course I have some nails, treated nails, Milwaukee nail gun over there. Maybe I'll do a video on that. I really like that nail gun a lot. But I use a mix of nails and screws. I screw everything together first. And once I know that's where it's going to be set, then I'll use the nails for the structural. They say that the nails have more structural strength than the screws, so I use a combination of both. But I screw everything together first. That way, if something isn't right or I want to change something, I can. Because once you use those rim shank nails, they are in there. From all this stuff, half of it probably won't make the cut anyway. It's a good start. Packed a nice lunch. Figured I'd have a sandwich out here. And forgot to bring it. Typical. I don't know how much of this footage you guys are going to want, so I probably won't take a ton of me carrying lumber up. Here's what we're going to do. I'm just going to show you guys a little bit of this. I'm not going to show every little cut and every little thing. I'll just kind of show you the gist of what I'm doing here. I'm just going to double check. I know it's 4 feet, but I'm going to double check it just to be sure before I cut anything. I'd rather double check and cut one time. So we're down that at that end. And as you can see, it is 4 feet. We got it lined up. So I'm going to cut a whole bunch of these at 4 feet. And I think I'm going to put one every foot. Normally, like other stuff, it's every 16 inches, but I have the extra material. It is going to hold a lot of wood, so why not? I have it. I can do it. So I'll put one every foot. So I got to cut. That's 10 feet. I got to cut 8 of them. So I'll get cutting, and then I'll show you some of the cuts. I won't bore you with all the cutting, but I'll show you the first few just so you see how I'm doing it. And first thing I like to do is I like to check these ends and make sure that they are square, which it is. And then I will check this end, and this end is a little off. Maybe that's a little OCD, but this end is not square, so that end will be, this will be the end that gets cut off on this. And where's my hammer? Here we go. My hammer. So these all have the tags for pressure treated, so I just like tapping the staples in. That way my tape doesn't catch on them and throw off my measurement. We got one more. All right. Let's check the other end right away. Although these ends are all getting cut off anyways, but whatever. All right, so let's measure it out. Here we go. We have 4 feet. All right, we will make that cut. And funny how I always say we, there's nobody else out here, but I guess I could pretend you guys are here with me while I'm doing this work. How about that? And I don't sound like a crazy person. So I'm just using this, since I'm one guy, extra set of hands. Hold that down for me while I make the cut. I just put a new blade on. Super sharp. Look at stickers still on it. So we'll line this up. Oh wait, here, I'll show you a little trick I stole from somebody on YouTube. You use a square here, and this will set you up. Use a square, and this will set you up for a nice straight cut. Of course, my glasses are all screwed up. All right, I think that's right. There we go. So use the square as a guide. You get an excellent square, nice cut without having, I don't know what you call them, a chop saw. So it's one way around it. All right, there's one. 7 more to go. Now that I know this end is not square, I'll be measuring from here, since this end is square. Even though this is 8 foot, there's always, as you can see, a little bit extra. So it's actually 8.5 inches, which is fine. I'll just measure this off, cut the end. Make sure nothing's thrown off my square. Look at how crooked that is. Is that for real? Is that for real? Man. Wow. Yeah, that's really not square. So I learned that the hard way. Check your the ends when you buy them the way they come, because sometimes they're not actually square. So we're at 4. And we're at 4, although that feels like it's a little off. Let me double check. And sometimes these can be bowed, which will throw off if it's square. Depends how much of a perfectionist you want to be. This sounds better. All right. So we'll make this cut. I'll cut all these. I won't bore you with all these cuts. These will be done. Then we'll set them in there, and we'll continue onward. All right, guys and gals and everyone. Got them all cut up. Showed you how I did that. Here's some more. Carry these over there. I have all these little like whatever saplings. I'm just gonna cut these out. I'm using green treated. All this lumber is pressure treated that's in contact with the ground. I bought cedar tone for the outside because you'll see that. I bought this kind of, I don't like the green treat color. But these will never be seen. Once they're laid out, it'll be covered and you won't see it. So it saves you money. It's a little bit cheaper than the cedar tone green treat. So anyways, we'll cut these out. I'm chopping my foot off, hopefully. All right, get this stuff out of here. This out of here. I'm gonna have to do two. There. I'm telling you guys, if anybody watching is a fellow YouTuber, very new at this camera rig I'm using it's okay, but if you're really trying to like do work and film, it's not great, I'll tell you that. But for, you know, if you're not doing much, it's all right. But half the time I spend holding it with one hand while I'm working with one hand. This doesn't work out great. All right, there we go. So that's the last of those. All right, we're back. Sounds like a lot of energy there. All right, we're back, everybody. Some of this stuff I'm not filming, but you'll get the point if you want to know what I'm doing. All I'm doing is measuring this out. Every foot may seem a little excessive, but there's going to be a lot of weight in here, so, and I have the lumber. So I'm making a mark, an X here. This is the middle, and then I go 3/4 out. So as long as I line up my lumber with this line, the edge, and then on the inside you'll see I make a line straight down. That way the lumber's perfectly straight and I get it flush with here. I marked all the way down. I use a square. I'll just show you on this side. So we'll lock this up here. Yeah, got my knee pads on since the guy just gets older, you know, and not as easy on your body to do all this stuff. Here we go. So you'll see I mark it 3/4. Get my pencil. 3/4, and then I put an X so I know that's where the middle of the stud is. Oh, great. You guys didn't see it because my camera moved. Here's what we do. Mark it, X. Apparently my pencil needs to be sharpened, so let's do that. This will be the highlight of the video, maybe. All right, back to work. I'm gonna mark all this out. I'll come back and show you when I'm lining these up, screwing those in and all that. So we'll be back. All right, guys. I've been lazy with my filming, or I could say, all right, everybody, I'm back. I went ahead and fastened almost all of these in. I saved a few, but what I'm doing is I've been taking these 3-inch treated deck screws, exterior screws, whatever. These ones here, I put one, the camera off, I'm putting one in top, one on bottom just to hold these 2x6s in place. And then I'm coming back through with these big 6-inch leg screws, and I'm putting these boys in here. And as you can see here, I'll see if I can set this camera up. And you can see how it's going, but I'm just putting one in on each end. And because this wood stand is going to be off the ground. It's going to be off the ground a little bit, so Film one more for you guys. It's going to be off the ground, and I want to make sure that all of these, I don't know what you joists are strong enough to support all the weight of the wood that's going to be in here. There we go. I wonder, why is there no board there? Well, I miscalculated, and I'm short one board, so I have to get one more. Throw that in. I'm going to put joist hangers on all of these. It's probably maybe excessive, but I don't care. I'd rather overbuild something and have it last a long time. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll put joist hangers on all these. Then I'll get the feet on, get it up off the ground where I want it, level it, square it, and then I will put the floorboards on once it is squared. So the other thing we're doing is, I almost forgot, along with those screws, I am also putting
ring shank nails.
I'm going to put a couple of rim joist nails in each spot here, just for the structural strength. They're hot dipped, they're treated, they're for treated wood. So not only will it have the big 6-inch leg bolt screw, whatever, in each end, it has the 2 screws, one top, one bottom, and then it'll have a couple of nails on each end as well. And that should give it all the strength it should ever need. And this nail gun is awesome. I really like it. So far, it's been just great. Makes it super easy. Let's see, everything's lined up well. Yeah. I'll go and tack the rest of these in, and then I'll come back once I have a little more progress going. All right, everybody, here's where we're at. This is going on day 2 now. It's funny, I thought I could get a lot more done in one day than what I actually did get done, but here's where we're at. So I have this semi-leveled. As we get closer, I'll put breaker rock underneath both legs and get it more leveled. I'll get it perfectly leveled before I do anything with the roof and that. So here's what I'm doing. I took a 2x6, 2x6x8, 2x4, and I screwed these together. And then I put some rim shank nails in there too. This is all treated. So I made an elbow. And what I did was I wanted this 12 inches off the ground. So let's get here. So you can see, here's my line. I just lined that up 12 inches, both sides got it. I tacked this on, then I cut off 12-inch 4x4 blocks. So the weight's actually sitting on top of this block, and then I tacked and screwed in this 4x4 block. And I'll do that on all the legs all the way around. And then I have this decking tape. I am not a builder, and I don't claim that I'm a professional by any means. I'm learning how to do this stuff just from a combination of YouTube videos. I take stuff from videos, take stuff from other guys' channels of what I like, what I think will work for me, and I apply it. I'm using joist decking tape. It's probably way overkill for a woodshed, considering it shouldn't get any rain on here, but I'm using it anyways. I have it, so I'm using it. And then I'll line, as we progress here, I'll show you how this comes together. I do have joist hangers. Maybe I don't need them. Might be overkill, but I would much rather build something quality that's going to last a long time than do it cheap or cut corners and then it fails and I have to fix it. When I build something, I like to build it to last. So hence the joist hangers, which may or may not be necessary, but I'm using them. I have them. And as I get going on this thing, I'll keep checking in and showing you guys what everything looks like as I go. Here's some of those corner posts. They're not up yet. And that's all it really is. It's just a 2x4 and a 2x6 screwed together, and then they've matched the corner, and that'll act as a leg, and then the weight of the platform will rest on that 4x4 post, and then I'll add one in the middle as well. I'll put a 4x4 post in the middle on both sides, and there should be, this should be plenty strong to hold. There's only a foot in between each of the joists, and I'm using, as you can see, this cedar decking that I have laying there, and that's what I will be using for the decking here. I love the smell of cedar, and I'll also be using it for the back and the sides, to go across for the rain and elements and whatever, but it'll be spaced. I think I'm just going to use the space of 2x4s on each end and work my way up. But anyways, that's where we're at for now. I'll check in again once I have more done. We'll see how well this works. Put some joist hangers in. Well, this is kind of a challenge. I can't see with the camera in the way, but oh man, this is gonna be difficult. I need to get a better camera setup. This one is really not good. It's really not good, but we'll make do with what we have for now. All right, one. We'll tap this side in here. All right. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna hit my thumb looking through the screen. I'm gonna end up whacking my hand. So I'm just kind of tapping that in. There we go. I'll get the rest of the tape on here. Knee pads. Oh man, this is so weird. You guys are here for a woodshed build, but there should be like a foot or two of snow up here right now. This is super weird to be a day away from Christmas Eve and there's no snow, and I'm in just one thin wool shirt. It's crazy. I can't believe there's no snow. It's the first year I can remember in a long time that there's no snow during Christmas. Get our joist tape on. I've been just kind of rolling it out, and then just cutting it off. If you can't tell, I like Milwaukee tools. It's kind of like once you buy, at least for me, once you get into a certain brand, it's like I already have the batteries, I have all the stuff. I might as well just stick with it. I guess that's not true on all of them, but for the most part, I like Milwaukee. If I've ever had an issue with a tool so far, they take care of it like right away. I send it back. It's been no issue. Oh man, I wish you guys could see. Here we go. So this is all I'm doing. Just kind of line it up, stick it down. Probably not necessary for a woodshed, but hey, whatever. I got them. I got it. It's left over from my other build. We're back. I got this other post on. This is what it looks like before it's on. All right. I just mark it out 12 inches. I'm putting 2 screws in for now just to hold that 4x4 block in on both sides, make sure it's tight. And then I'll use the nail gun there, and I'll throw a bunch of nails in like I did on this one. Just throw bang bang some nails. I'll throw a few more up in here too, And once I get that fastened, then I'm going to dig this down a little bit, get it level, put some breaker rock under. This is all ground contact lumber, so we're making some progress. I've been slacking on filming, but look at that. Look at that. Perfectly level. The ground's very uneven, so I had this dead tree. I cut some rounds, just leveled it off on this end, used a car jack to raise it up, and we're sitting good. And then I think next summer what I'll do is I'll take the torch and I'll burn these ends. It's supposed to stop bugs from eating them and maybe make them last longer from rot and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be the plan anyways. But I'm just pretty happy I finally got it level. And here, we'll run it the other way. See where we're at. We are, boy, we're really close. We're not quite there, but we're close. This is what it's looking like. It's kind of off on a hill a little bit. Getting excited to get this done. This has turned into day 3. Maybe if a person did a full real day and kind of was planned out a little better, you could probably do this in a day, but whatever, day 3 for me. Now it's after Christmas. We still have basically no snow, which is very weird. But where I'm at in the shed, woodshed build process right now is, I'm gonna show you. I just cut this down. This is cedar decking. I want it to overhang a little bit, so all I did is I just made a few marks here with the pencil, and I'm gonna cut that out just a tiny bit, just so it'll bump out a little more. So I'll clamp that down, cut it, and then I'll start getting the decking in. Once that's done, I'll frame out how the roof's gonna be, the angle of the roof, and the overhang, and then I'll have to cut these down. It's not gonna be that tall. These are 8 feet, so making progress. I'm just cutting a piece out here just so it'll fit a little tighter in here and overhang. So I'll show you how I'm doing it. And where's my mark? Here's my mark. I need to flip this board and cut this way. I'm just taking like a sliver. All right, I think I might have took too much. I guess in the end it is just a woodshed, so it's not the end of the world, but all right. And I have this chisel. I'm just going to straighten it out. This one I definitely cut deeper than the other side, but too late now, I guess. Just straighten that out a little better. Let's see if we can get a cleaner cut. Oh, maybe. Well, let's see how it fits, guys. Cap that off. Really hope this video is coming through all right. Guess I'll find out once I edit it. Flip this board around. Oh yeah, that fits nice. That's what I wanted. I wanted it to hang over Just a little bit. I just wanted a little slight overhang. That feels like it's perfect. Nice. Now we'll screw that down, and then we'll get our placements for the rest of them. So what I'm doing is I'm taking cedar chips, and I'm going to put them underneath the woodshed. I'm going to put the stuff down before I get the boards all set. I'd like to say I planned it like that. I did not. I came out here, I drove all the way up. This place is about an hour away from my house. Hour drive. Drove all the way up here. Was gonna get all my decking put down and get going and get this roof done and get this thing finished. I forgot to buy more screws, so I ran out of screws. I could have used other ones, but I want them to match. You know, I'm a little picky that way, I guess. This is what I'm doing. I'm dumping these wood chips out on here. And I'll film a little bit of it. You guys probably get bored after a while if I film too much of this kind of stuff. Either way, you'll see the end result. And I have a little weed barrier netting. It's like I think it's like a 20-year or whatever. So I'll put the chips on top of this. I just don't want weeds growing through. Maybe it'll cut down on like rodents and stuff being underneath the woodshed. You know, maybe not, I don't know, but either way, it'll stop the weeds and stuff from growing through here. I will say it's super weird to be putting cedar chips down with no snow in December. I mean, this is crazy. I'm north. Not giving away my exact location. I am north of the 45th parallel. We should have like 2 feet of snow here. It should be below zero, and it's not. It's 33 degrees. It's December, what is it, 29th today? I mean, it's like crazy. This is crazy. There should be snow everywhere here, and there's just not. But I don't know. I'm just going to spread this out. If any of you know of a better system to film the way that I'm doing this, like kind of, I don't know, what do you call it, point of view? I really like filming this way. The intent of my channel was never to have the attention on me. Suppose you didn't come here to listen to me complain about my first world problems here. So you guys are still within the shot here. Let's bring you back. Here's what I'm seeing. Yeah, I need a little more, I think. We'll get some more put down. That'll be enough of filming this part. And we'll get to the decking. Here's all I'm doing. I'm assuming you can see, I'm just getting this end flush. And I'm marking these off every 1.25 inches roughly. So I got my marks kind of set. And then I'm getting those in there. And once I get them started, then I'm just pulling back really hard so it's tight. I'm using my square as the space. And then I just measure out the next one and move on. What I'm doing here, I'm using this board as just leverage to get it nice and tight. Sometimes there's bends in these boards. So I'm just screwing this in here. Oh man, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm screwing in that 2x4, and then I can use that as leverage. I just pull on the top of it to force the wood to be straight. forcing it. See, right now, this is really loose. I want that in there so I can't pull it out. That way everything is spaced evenly. If you know of any other methods that work better than this, I'd be happy to know about them. I am not a professional builder by any means. Do not do this for a living. I'm just doing this for fun. I've been wanting a woodshed for quite some time. All right, so then again, a lot of play. So then I just kind of put pressure on. Now I can't pull it out. And then I'm sinking these in and working my way down. Except, I shouldn't take that one out. Now it's tight down here. See, these boards they're never perfectly straight. At least the ones I buy never are. I try to get the best ones possible, but I find with lumber, good luck. Good luck if you think you're gonna get perfectly straight lumber. Oh my goodness, now this one's a little too tight. So, all right, good. I don't need my leverage, so I'm taking this board out. And we'll save that down the road if I need it again. Yeah, that's in there tight. And I had a time lapse up earlier. Screwed half of this board down and I realized it had been sitting out here in the rain and there was about 1/8 of an inch of ice formed underneath the board. And so it wasn't sitting flush. So I had to flip it over, unscrew it, then flip it over, knock all the ice off and keep going. So I'll have to check all the rest of these boards over here and make sure there's no more ice. Onward. I'm gonna change up the camera angle here, guys. So we're working our way this way. There, now you can get my good side. Oh, my joist spacing may be a little ridiculous close. Every foot. I don't think it's necessary, but I don't know. I've never built one of these before, and I want to make sure that with all the wood this is going to hold, it should hold about 1/4 wood, a little more. I want to make sure that it can support all that weight. I guess in my mind, I would rather overbuild something, spend the money, do it right the first time than, you know, it's not enough, stuff starts bowing or whatever. So that's my thought on it. I would rather do it right, overbuild it, and it lasts a very long time, and I don't have to come back in and fix it down the road. So that's my thought process on it. I am not saying that anybody has to do it my way. This is just the way I'm doing it. If you guys have a better way or whatever, you know, hey, you can do it however you see fit. And what I've done is I've watched many YouTube videos of, you know, other content creators and how they've built stuff, and I just take kind of bits and pieces and different videos, things I like, things I don't like, I leave aside, and I just kind of Frankenstein my own idea of a whole bunch of other videos. So that's what you're seeing happening here, is me taking a lot of other ideas and kind of applying what I like, suits my needs the best. This board is so warped, you probably can't see it on camera, but it is like bowing upwards on the end. And another reason I'm using deck screws is I like the pulling power that they have. I have a nail gun, it'd be a heck of a lot faster. However, I like the pulling power of screws. You know, it just keeps everything sucked down, sink down, whatever you want to say. And that's why I'm using screws. Onward. see if you're even in frame yet. Can you still see? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can still see what we're doing here. All right. What else you guys want to talk about? It's kind of weird. Never fully get used to talking to a camera. But, ooh, man, that wasn't, I didn't have that one centered. That might bother me a little bit, but I think what else here I could tell you guys. I will say this. I absolutely love being out here. Yeah, I just love being out in nature. What I have here is some acreage that I bought here in the States. So I really got lucky. I looked for land for, boy, I want to say 4 to 5 years, and it's just hard to find. It is hard to find. It's expensive when you do find it, and I feel like the location where I'm at is just, I am so thankful to have this property. You know, I have a little bit of everything here. I have, you know, like the hardwoods, hard maples. I have oaks. We have the birch trees, pine trees. I mean, I have a really excellent variety of trees, and then the wildlife is amazing. I mean, we have, you know, wolves, deer, bear, turkey. I mean, everything. The eagles. I really feel like I have a great variety of wildlife here. It's just amazing. I'm gonna take you out of the phone holder here. I shoot all this with an iPhone, by the way, if anyone's wondering. We're getting close. I figure this is gonna take 9 boards, so we're almost halfway there. The tools that I'm using, well, it's pretty obvious. They're all red. It's Milwaukee. I absolutely love Milwaukee tools. I originally started with DeWalt. There's nothing wrong with DeWalt. But then I started getting into the Milwaukee platform, and you know, once you have the batteries, the charging system, you have that platform, you know, it's just convenient. And so far I have not had any issues with my Milwaukee tools, other than the chainsaw. I had one problem. Actually, it wasn't even the saw, it was the battery, and Milwaukee took the battery, replaced it free of charge. They've been really great. I am not sponsored by Milwaukee in any way. I will post links to the tools that I'm using, all of the tools that I use throughout this build. I'll post everything in the description. So I'll have links to all the tools that I use in this build. If anyone's interested, they'll be in there. But what's neat is this comes together and you get these floorboards put down. It really starts to give the structure strength. You can feel the rigidity as, you know, I walk on it or move the structure. It's not as flimsy. You know, it really starts to strengthen as you get these boards on. And once this is done, and then I'll be putting, sorry about the finger there, I'll be putting a board across for the roof on both sides. And then I'll start squaring that up and start working on the roof. We've made little progress. It's kind of slow rolling. I'm still coming off being sick over Christmas, so, you know, I guess that's just how it goes, but at least I'm out of here, right? So many floor joists. I don't know if I really like that idea, but committed now. There we go. Oh, that sucks. Man, that was ugly. That was ugly. That's all right. We'll make the rest of them good. So I am slanting these a little bit this way just to pull it tight, so it is a good tight one. This is cedar. It smells amazing. I just love the smell of cedar. If If you know, you know. Cedar smells awesome. I have a few more. We'll see if this is gonna line up. It should measure out, but who knows? Maybe it won't. 12. These are gonna be supports for the middle. I'm gonna clamp it down. Really gonna hope that I don't hit any nails, because this 4x4 is, what's the word? I'm reusing it. It was used for a garden, and the garden fence was taken down, and now I'm using it for support posts for my woodshed. So oh, it's close. Super close. I'll show you how close. Look. Bam. Oh man, that's close. I don't like being that close to the nails, but hey man, we gotta reuse this material. Gotta reuse it. So about a foot. This isn't super critical that it's exact. Here we go, but this is critical. Clamping this thing down, because these move a lot when you're cutting if they're not clamped down. So you can see we're lined up. We're gonna get it started. All right. Cut's a little weird. Hey, whatever. And that's going for the middle. Now I gotta cut one more. I think I'm not gonna film it. So finally, floor's done. I'm running out of daylight. Still have a lot of work to do, but we made a lot of progress today at least. This is time consuming, tedious. Having floor joists every foot. That's a lot of work. Here's how we do it. My build site, brought some chili in the thermos. Nice and warm yet. Sour cream, green onions, cheddar cheese all mixed in. We have made some progress. I have these 2x4s. They're all treated exact same length as the bottom, so 10 feet in length. Getting everything squared up, 10 feet, 10 feet. This is 4 feet 3 inches. That's what this ended up being, and I spaced it that way. That way my decking boards, it would be 9 with the spacing. So now I'm putting the backs up. I am short on cedar, so I have to go back, get some more. And then I will run the cedar up on the walls here. Then I'll have a center board like this. I'll be putting another one here, and I'll wall off maybe this front side. I'm not sure. I'll just leave it open. I guess I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with it yet, but I'll just back up a little bit here so you can see. So that's what we're looking at right now. Yeah, I'm very happy. It's coming along really nice. I didn't film all the cutting and putting these up. It's pretty self-explanatory. I did, however, use 2x4 blocking. So I put a block there and I put a block there. That way everything is spaced evenly. And once that end, this end were secured, then I'd bring the block here and push the board down. You would not believe how many of these needed to be pushed down because they're bowed up. So I'd push them down. That way everything is spaced correctly. And then screw them in. And for those, I was using these coated deck screws, 2-inch. That way they don't come through the backside. Finally got snow. I'm excited. Get this woodshed finished. I was hoping to do it before the snow, but I guess this is what I get. I complained about no snow. We got snow. Except for I love the snow. So we're making progress here. These are the blocks I'm using for spacers. I'm just spacing them out, and then I set the next one. Everything's evenly spaced. Put one on each end. I pre-cut all the rest of my cedar since I ran out last time, so I'll get these sides finished. Maybe get this last roofing brace on this side put up. Here we go. These. Now I gotta clean the ice off. It messes up my blocks. And I want everything the same height. So put that in. Then we gotta decide which block, what do we want to use. I think that looks nice. This side on the inside. Oh, set there. There's my spacers. Get my drill. All right, let's get it started. Ooh. All right, then I'm just tapping. Make sure it's down. All right, and then I will lock this in. Right there. Oh, damn. I didn't have the camera right. All right, there we go. Well, you'll get to see this one. So we got that locked down. All right. There we go. Nice, and they're good. I'm not gonna make you guys sit through this. I'll finish this and then show you what it looks like once I get it all done. So I got all the sides done, the 3 sides. I'm debating on putting a post in the middle and then doing these boards across the front as well. But you know, this is facing south, so I guess I'm just not sure. I would say leave a comment, but by the time this video is posted, this thing's going to be done. So I guess I'm just not sure if I want to do that or not. I think I want all the firewood to have full sun throughout every day. And then the roof is going to have a nice 2-foot overhang. So I don't know if I really need to do it. Either way, there's going to be a center pole here. And then I'll tie everything together, get the metal on. But here's where we're at. Use the 2x4 blocks for spacing. I didn't need to notch that. No, it's too late now. Here's the update. Don't stand on the top step, right? This beam across the front for the roof is going to be 12 feet, or it is 12 feet. So then with the measurements of the base being 10, take 3 inches off for the 3 widths of 2x4. Got 9 inches here. I used this. Let's see if I can show you guys this. I used just this scrap piece of wood here as like a little holder just to hold the wood up while I was measuring it out on each end. And then I put some screws in here to fasten that. Then this end will get another piece down, screwed in. And then what I did on the back, I'll zoom it in. I used the Sawzall and I just cut off, you know, it was standing up high there, or I should say right there, just like that one. So I used the Sawzall to trim those off. So that's all even now. So it's coming along. Once I get the rest of this roof framed out, I'll measure the backs, we'll cut those up, and then once we get the roof on, this thing is done. Starting to come together. Have the outside part of the framing done. I'll still need to put another 2x4 along on the outside, both parts of the outside. I'll be running another 10 foot through the middle And then I'll have 3 rows of 2x4s to fasten in the 8-foot sheets of roofing material. I think that should be enough. Guess I'll find out. This is what it's looking like so far. Once I get the frame done, then we'll throw the metal on and this thing will be done. We're looking at the roof. I have it framed out. I ended up putting some heavy duty stainless steel bolts through here just so this is held on. There's screws, there's nails. Probably a little overkill, but I framed this out so this roof is 12 feet length, just short of 8 feet, because my 8-foot metal panels will have about an inch overhang on the front, inch overhang on the back. So this is where we're at. Even though this is just a woodshed, I am putting joist tape on here so the metal isn't directly on the wood. It's probably way overkill, but I don't care. I'm going to build it right. I want it to last a very, very long time. So I'm running joist tape on here. Anybody else doing this, you probably would not have to do that. Probably a little overkill, but like I said, I don't care. I want it done right. And the joist tape, if you're wondering why, I've heard that moisture, you know, the freeze thaw, all that kind of stuff, you can get moisture underneath the metal, and then that would make condensation directly on the wood and, you know, in turn possibly rot the wood. Whether or not that would really happen, I used all treated wood on here for the framing. All these 2x4s are treated. So I really doubt that it's going to rot. I'll sawzall that piece off. I still have to put the front post in there and connect it, and then I'll sawzall that off and I'll start laying metal. And once I get the metal on, this thing will be finished. Got a little fire going. While I'm working on my build. Just taking a little break. Got the last 2 sheets on that side. I thought it was square, but I apparently did not get the sheets perfectly squared up, because now on this end it's off maybe by a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch. There's enough coverage, but it's not going straight. It's not going straight along the line. I'll go over and show you guys. I don't think anybody else would notice it, but I do. So I'm debating if I want to take everything off and redo it so it's straight, but 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, maybe it's not that big a deal. I don't know, we'll see. I have this panel is screwed down. If you're wondering what this toe strap is, since I built the roof on top of the standing frame, this was out of square quite a bit, like 2 inches off. So I tried banging it wouldn't stay, so I used this ratchet strap to pull it back into square. So now it is square. All the panels will line up. And I'm going to keep the strap on until all the roofing is done and screwed down, and then that should hold square. So that's what the strap's for. But here's the progress we've made so far. And by we, I mean me by myself out here. But when I say that, I mean you guys watching at home. Anyway, so that's what it's looking like so far. Almost done. Then we get to fill it. Here we are. This is the tape I've been putting down. I ran out. The roof is coming along nice. It's turning out very nice. I can't wait to have this thing done and start filling it full of wood. A nice, I think the overhang is about 2 feet. So that worked out really nice. And then about 1 foot on this side, on each side, I should say. And then I think it's 1.5 feet on the back side or whatever, but coming along. Here's the progress. Went and got some more of that joist tape. Get the rest taped up. Get these last 2 pieces of metal up here, and then we will be done. I am finally done. I took a break and I thought about it. As much work, I didn't film it, but I took all the roofing off and realigned it. That way everything was even. I didn't like that the edge right here, this was originally, it was off, it was tapering off. Now it's perfectly, even all the way through. So I took everything off, realigned it, and it turned out great. I had a lot of fun on this build. This was great. It turned out really good. Now I just need to load it with wood. So I'll give you guys some kind of close-ups here and you can see how it turned out. I ended up going back and doing 3 screws instead of 2. I originally only had 2 in each board. I went back through and put 3 in. So here's what it all looks like. Let's see here. So you can see the overhang there. Just gonna do a walk around for everybody. Here's the side view. There's my elevated deck that I built. I'll be doing a video on that one eventually. So it turned out really nice. This should hold over a cord of wood. You'll see on the back we have a nice overhang on the back, so keep everything really dry. So I don't fall down the mountain here. Yeah. It's all done. Took me a lot of time, but building in the winter can be challenging. And I'm very happy with how this turned out. So I'll just kind of go over what it is again, or the dimensions, I should say. So the roof, 12 feet by 8 feet. So I bought 8-foot sheets of metal. That's what's on there. The wood shed itself, this is 10 feet by 4 foot, 3 inches, I think is what it is. And I did that just so the decking, that way I wouldn't have to cut any down. So the decking worked out, and then it gives you enough to have 3 rows of 16-inch cut firewood. And then you can stack this up. This is about 6 feet, 3 inches high in the back. And I mean, I'm not going to stack it any higher than that, but stacking it that high, I should be able to get like a cord and a half, I'm guessing, with it being 10 feet and then 6 feet high. And there's a look at the finished product. That is the firewood shed. It's finally complete. Thanks for watching the build. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks for watching.